You are now watching Bar Talk TV.
Yo, 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 what's poppin'?
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in.
It's your girl D Breezy here on Bar Talk. You already know. Hope
Jacob
everybody's doing
Romo.
good. Oh yeah, Jacob Romo.
What's good?
Okay.
You know the drill. Start sharing, everybody. Show some love. We got a special guest today. We'll bring him out in a couple minutes.
Show some love in the comments, yo. Who's present? Howdy, Kim Williams. Hi, girl. Wait.
Howdy. Hey, what's up, Kim? How you doing? We have, some announcements. You want to tell everybody about the...
No,
Not yet? All right. I was about to say it, too. It was like about so close to come out.
Yeah, we got some work in, how do you say it?
In the works.
We got some work in the works.
Some
So
work
we're
in the
not
works?
announcing it yet.
Shout out Bo Phillips and Moki.
Hey, what up, Audrey? Is that how you pronounce your name?
Oh, Audrey, Marie, what's up?
Thanks for tuning in, girl. Woo, woo. How's your Thursday?
How's everybody doing? Yeah, for real. Let us know where you're watching from, too.
Tucson, Arizona. Yeah, we never asked that question, huh? It'd be interesting to see someone from like.
There's a dude that always
Italy.
watches and he's like, oh, I'm from Chile. He's like, I'm an artist, too. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What the fuck? From Chile? That's crazy.
That's dope,
That's
though.
what's up, though.
So, what was your week like, Jacob? Anything interesting?
My mom wants a garden. You know, I'm like my mom's caregiver. I've been her caregiver now for like 9 years. Now she wants a garden, so I've been in the backyard just digging up the ground and
Really?
turning it, and like making a fence and doing all the measurements and shit. So where I'm doing that now. I do that like every morning, hit the gym, and then do all my busy shit. Kind of went to the bank today, got my business account going,
Ooh.
so we can set up the whole merch line. That should be out soon. So
You got a merch line coming out soon.
business account. Yeah.
So there's gonna be some pretty dope stuff. If you guys support Bar Talk TV, you know.
Please
Buy some
share one
shirts.
time if you can. We want to introduce Freddie Mooves.
Woo! Can I get a round of applause?
What's up, man? Thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
So you got your orange juice. Which one?
Some Hennessy.
Anything.
Well, it was just like basically whatever was in the fridge. So I guess I got pineapple juice. Shout out to the bartender.
We had more shit, but all the kids and everybody drank it, including that Omar right there.
Yeah.
He always drinks soda.
But
Trying to lie.
I mean, it's good. It tastes good. Shout out to Omar. Shout out to Omar. Thank you.
I'm glad you like it.
How y'all doing?
Pretty
Well,
good,
I'm
man.
doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Chilling.
That's
Drinking
what's
my
up.
orange juice too.
Okay. I seen that.
You're not gonna drink anything?
I am. I'm drinking some water.
Some H2O. Gotta stay hydrated.
Some,
Oh, you're drinking orange juice too.
How come I didn't get a Bar Talk TV cup?
actually,
You
I got
do.
Do I?
Yeah,
Hey,
look.
Oh, my bad.
So,
Okay.
Well,
My
you're bragging
bad.
on the bartender.
Hey, shout out. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Can you see that? Bar Talk TV cup.
we made you a little gift bag, brother. You want to bring that up?
Yeah, most definitely.
Really?
Yeah. Couple little things in there.
Wow. Yo, I got something for you. I got something for you. Yeah, I got something for you.
What's in the bag? Let me see.
What?
Ah.
Oh, okay.
No, you
Okay.
got one.
Hey, I got one. Yo, I appreciate that, man. You know, y'all is some real ones, bro. For real. Got the koozie.
Beer cooler.
Oh yeah, that's so cool. I want
Ooh.
one.
You think it would be automatic?
Bar Talk TV.
Oh my goodness. Yo, I appreciate that, man.
So you
Yeah.
never forget us.
I'll never forget. I never forget the real ones.
Oh, just we're gonna have to replace
All right.
Anyways, so
What's up? What you got?
Where you from, man?
Well, I mean, it's a long story. A lot of people. You got time? Well, I mean, I was born in Florida. A lot of people don't know that, man. West Palm Beach.
Oh shit.
Yeah, West Palm Beach, Florida. It's about like, well, I lived in Lake Worth, but it's about 30 minutes from Miami. So, but I moved here. I've been here in Tucson since I was 7 years old, man. So, but I'm an Arizona boy, that's for sure. You know.
Your family just moved here? Why they move here?
Well, my mom is, from Agua Prieta, Mexico, AP. Yeah, So
I have family out there. Actually.
really, yeah, like, I mean, that's where most of my family is from. My dad is Puerto Rican, so everybody don't know that I'm half Mexican, half Puerto Rican, Mexican, how they say.
So you're pretty loud.
I'm a little loud. I'm sorry if I get. I try to restrain it. You know what I mean, but it comes out.
You're not loud. You're passionate.
Yeah, I
That's
like
what
that.
we
I'm passionate.
Oh, wait, let me say a quick shout out to the girls in the comments. Mayra Peralta, hey, what's up, girl? And Ella Yvette, hey, girl, thanks for tuning in. Anyways, what were we saying? Sorry.
Nah, you gotta run the show, but yeah, man. So that's where most of my family is from, and but yeah, I'm here.
I think I have a deal up there. He's like a pastor.
Yeah.
He's a church.
Well, I mean,
Agua Prieta.
yeah,
So,
dirty water.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, that means.
That's what it
I
turns into.
wouldn't call it dirty. I would say dark because Prieta means like dark.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you're out in the sun too much. You come in and say, ay, ¿por qué estás tan prieta? It's like, oh.
I thought it meant something else. Like you're fucking tightwad or some shit.
Nah.
Wow. Is that what they mean? They say when
No,
you're
that's
tightwad money or some
aprieta.
shit?
That's aprieta.
Same shit.
Or preta, apretada. I know my Spanish. So, do you ever go back to Florida? Do you have family?
It's been a long time since I've been back to Florida. My brother lives up there.
Oh, yeah?
I got cousins, I got nieces, nephews.
Do they see crocodiles up there?
Yeah, that's legit.
Crazy.
I remember when I was a little kid, I was with my parents and we went to somebody's house or whatever, and then right in their backyard, there's a river that flows over there. It's like there's a river in the back of their yard, and there's boats and boat traffic, and then like legit like my parents were like, don't get too close to the water, because I was young, I was a little boy at the time, you know what I mean, and
exactly what they
exactly, but
You almost got 8.
but that was the reason why, it was because there was alligators in the river, so you couldn't get too close to the water because of being small,
Yeah.
and you know how parents are.
Chicken toothpick to them.
Exactly.
So what happened? You get close to the water, what happened?
From what I remember, it was just one of those things where I was just like curious and everything, but nothing happened. No, nothing happened. I lived in Lake Worth for a brief moment, and it's called Lake Worth for a reason. There's lakes everywhere in that city, so that's to get a gator in your pool was something that was like it was common. It wasn't something that was shocking. You know what I mean? I'm sure it still happens now. You just call somebody to go take it out for you. So yeah, man.
There's like a special number that you call.
I imagine from what I would imagine is it's like you call an animal expert, like somebody that you would call to remove a snake or rattlesnake from your house or something from here.
Okay.
It's the same thing over there.
I don't call nobody. I just do that shit myself.
So do I. Right?
Get a bucket and a shovel.
There you go. That happens.
Yeah, dude, I've done that. There was a snake in my backyard. I got a bucket and laid it down. I fucking hit it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And then I just got the whole bucket and just threw it over the fucking
Oh, the whole thing?
yard.
Wow.
The back of the yard, just fucking threw it over. There's like a fucking a ditch, back there. So I just threw it. Took that snake.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, at my job, we do that at my job, but like, if there's a snake in somebody's yard, we'll go over there, we'll get it, and we'll relocate it. We try not to kill the snake. If we have to, we will.
I
But
didn't kill it. I just didn't make sure it landed.
I just don't want that back karma, man. It's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. I feel you. I believe in karma.
Yeah,
100%.
since we're talking about that, yeah, I don't like to kill like little insects in my house either.
Yeah.
I just sweep them out or catch them in a little cage.
Really?
Like, here you go.
Are you not one of those girls that like gets all hysterical because
No, I'm
there's
not hysterical. I'm just like, oh,
Start
you didn't really
screaming
have
and
to
shit.
kill that one. Like,
Okay.
they didn't do nothing.
I like that. That's cool.
You have a heart.
I have a really, really big heart.
I don't. I'll fucking kill a cockroach real quick.
Yeah, usually cockroaches are like already dying because you spray your house and then I'll just be
So
like,
you just poison them?
I'll just like step on
Isn't
you real
that
quick so
worse?
you could die faster.
You let them die slowly. Send them home so you can kill
When
their
I
brothers
see
and
them
sisters.
die now, I just go finish the job. Like, there you go. You don't have to suffer.
When you spray your house with poison, they're just taking the poison to their family and killing their kids and
That's
shit.
what it's for.
Thought you had a heart.
I mean, I do, but like, I don't
I'm
want
just
to my house.
The heart you have is just to kill them quickly.
Anyway, so back to you, Freddie. Freddie Moves. So, like, what's up with that name? Freddie Moves.
Freddie Moves. Well,
Freddie.
it's just
Fred E. Moves.
the E has nothing to do with it. It's just, it was just a clever way of how to spell it. You know what I mean? My nickname's Freddie. So, and instead of like spelling it, with a Y, the way you're supposed to spell it, I just wanted to be more clever and more something that kind of, it's unique. You know what I mean? Exactly. That's all it was. But the name came from my boy Sino. He gave me that name. Yeah, it was that. Usually those are the best names. When you don't have to.
Yeah, someone else gives it to
Exactly. That's how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? But it's just basically, I'm always a somebody that's constantly trying to figure out the next moves and constantly trying to figure out what's the next one. You know what I mean? I'm always thinking. I try to live in the moment. I'm more of a person that's trapped in the moment and try to, enjoy it. But I also I'm always the one that's like, okay, we gotta go do this. We got to shoot this video. We gotta get in the studio. I'm always constantly like making moves. That's where it came from, and not only that, I'm a silly guy sometimes. So we'll be in the studio, and I'll just be like, exactly, and I'll be in the studio sometimes, and I'm just like, dancing and messing around and all that kind of stuff. So my friends are just like, there you go, Freddie Moves again, man. So, but shout out to Cino, shout out to the homie David. Yeah, that's my partner. The MCH, the MCH thing. It's the rap duo, me and him. Probably was working today, so that's why he ain't here.
He would have been here with you.
He would have been here. I mean, I didn't really. This wasn't really planned too much. I didn't really plan. I kind of forgot. That's why I hit you up. I ain't gonna lie, man. But I forgot, but I didn't forget. You know what I mean? No, but I'm really happy to be here. I was a little nervous at first, but
Thank you for coming. Yeah, we like having you. I mean, I know you did a show a while back, but you didn't do it with me, so.
Oh, really?
But anyways, thank you for being here.
No, I appreciate you guys.
Do you want to tell us about, your group, your MCH, right?
Well, MCH, it's a rap duo. I mean, we've been doing this for too long sometimes, I feel, a long time.
Like, how long is long? Like 10 years plus?
10 years plus. It's probably like 15 or something like that. It's been a long time, man. A lot of people don't know of us in the city, but that's kind of my fault. I feel like, you know what I mean? I should be, but like really seriously, taking it seriously and really, getting into the whole marketing and how to promote and how to market yourself and create a brand. It's just like, I want to say the last 3 years, 4 years, I've been serious about it, and so, but I mean, we've been doing this a long time. I've seen a lot of people come and go, you know what I mean? And, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
So like if you're really dedicated to it and you really love to do this, because I really love to do music, I love being in the studio, I love performing, that's something that's just always been something that gives me a lot of joy, so, but yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for a minute,
And what
man.
got you started?
You know,
You've been doing it for 15 years. You were probably really young. I don't know how old you are.
yeah, I was super young when I started.
15 years
When did
ago,
you
I
become
was
interested in
15.
it?
I was in high school.
What's the first song that you ever heard that you were like, hey?
I can do that shit.
You know what? It was the Rockweiler, Method Man and Redman. Y'all remember that song? Do you even know that song?
I don't know. I need to hear it.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I know you know that song.
How do you think she is? Because you're like, you even know that song? Like, she's young.
Well, I'm just assuming. My bad. That's my fault.
Not that she's old. I'm just saying. I'm just asking you.
What was it called again?
Well, because but Rockweiler by Redman and Method Man. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh shit." Kind of dating myself here.
Oh, of course. Everybody knows this song. Can everybody hear it? So this is the first song that you heard.
Don't play too much of it because they're gonna use
Oh
it.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Copyright.
copyright. But yeah, I don't think it was the first song. Like when I was young, Naughty by Nature, it's another person, like another group.
Okay,
You know what I mean? Like hearing them, But when I heard that song, because Method Man was my favorite rapper when I was little, when I was young in high school and stuff. So when I heard that, it just was like, yeah, this is what I want to do, So, it just started from there, just kind of wrote a rap or whatever, just thinking that I was, and then just progressed, But I was never naturally good at it. My homie Roy, he was the one that was naturally gifted at doing it, and he's the one that taught me most of the stuff I knew back then. I just how to record. We would record on tapes and use the little radio, and you know what I mean.
The toilet paper.
Yeah, all that stuff, man. I think we bought like $2. We went to Radio Shack, bought some $2 mics, and started doing the thing, But yeah, the good old days, But like I said, I was never naturally gifted, so I've always been a person that I'm constantly trying to learn, constantly trying to improve and just better my craft and everything. So a lot of people don't know is like, I do everything,
Do you mean like everything? You cook, you iron.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah.
I know we're talking about music.
But I do everything that I got the setup at home.
You got a studio.
I got my own studio.
Do you engineer?
I engineer. I
Sing? Do you
produce.
sing?
No, I don't sing.
Oh, damn. So
Maybe
you
dirty
already-
sing. Like I melodize, I guess, if that's called singing. But I just really, I'm constantly, in there. I produce. I make beats. I produce. I know how to mix and master. I film the videos. I edit the videos. I do
Learn by experience.
all by experience, man. You know what I mean? I just was like, I'm not rich. You know what I mean? I don't have the endless amount of resources. So like it all first started, I always had a passion. I love equipment. You know what I mean? I love equipment. I love getting in the studio and buying new things and so setting it up and getting the mood right and all that type of stuff. But yeah, like
lights and stuff.
yeah, so I like I said, I'm a man of many hats. I do all that stuff, because if you want it to come out right, you do a lot of the stuff yourself. you know, I would outsource a lot of stuff if I could afford it, you know, but most of the time, you know, I'm a real hands-on person. So I'm always constantly, you know, so it says Freddie Moves. I'm always doing something.
Same
You
with
know what I
me,
mean?
man. When I started, like we did the shows, I had no idea how to edit.
Right.
One fucking bit. I got the program and I sat there watching tutorials, started doing that shit myself.
Right.
By little, I got better.
That's how it was for me, man. And I have a friend. His name's Steve Logic, and when we were back in the day, he was the one that was the engineer, and he's the one that would record us and all that stuff. And then he ended up moving to California, and all the sessions that we did, all the ones that that he recorded and stuff like that, he gave us all the files, and I opened up all the files and I basically reverse engineered all those songs and taught myself how to master music, you know, and through trial and every oh man, yeah, I'm still learning.
15 years is long.
There you go. I'm still learning, you know. And that's the one thing about music is if you stop learning, you're gonna stop growing, you know. So that it's all about growing and being able to make music that people can relate to. You know, I don't try to make music that's popular or because that's what's selling or whatever. You know, I'm gonna make music that I feel is right. You know, I don't try to make something just because. You know, I always go in the studio.
Listen to one of your feel right music right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Let's play something.
Which one do you want to put up?
Check it out.
Well, I mean, my latest single is "All I Want Is You," so it's really up to
You
you.
want to start that one or put that one last?
Let's go with "Leave a Message." That's the
Leave a message?
yeah. Let's go with "Leave a Message." Man, there's really no more Willie Nandez. It's your boy Freddie Mooves. That's right. No
Check
more
it
Mr.
out.
Nice Guy. I'm only doing me. I'm out here doing my thing. Most just be talking shit. They kicking rocks and complain. Man, I'm done with this bullshit. And my mind, I'm about to lose it. The way that I grew up is the way that I be. That's why I'm making moves just for my mini me. I'm done being this nice guy. I just wanna get home and have a nice night. They want me out of sight, but they out of their minds. Most just be talking shit, cause I'm blocking they shine. They want me out of sight, but they out of their minds. Most just be talking shit, cause I'm blocking they shine. I'm only out here getting mine. And while you only out there wasting time, they wanna give me questions. And I'm like, go ahead, leave a message. I've taken all the emotions and I bottled them up. I know it's my own fault that it's about to blow up. I guess I gotta stay in my lane and play my role. But realistically, this more like stop and go. So I'm about to leave and go and get some G's. I'm telling you right now, I'm repping for my peace. And this one's for the streets. Oh yes, you best believe me. Either you got it or want it, but you really don't need it. They want me out of sight, but they out of their minds. Most should be talking shit, cause I'm blocking they shine. They want me out of sight, but they out of their minds. Most should be talking shit, cause I'm blocking they shine. I'm only out here getting mine. And while you only out there wasting time, they wanna give me questions. And I'm like, go ahead, leave a message.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
That was a pretty dope
That was
video.
dope.
You were like international there.
Dude, that's what I was gonna say. It's like one thing that I've seen about your videos. It's like in different places of the world and shit. I was like,
Yeah.
man, that's fucking dope.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Shout out to my girl, man. That's the reason why I'm out there.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
But yeah, you just, thing is like most videos are all the same. You know, they're all the same. They're all it's either got cars, they got girls, you know what I mean? One thing or another, and I'm trying to be, we're in the entertainment business. So our job is to entertain people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to do my best to give everybody quality content, and it's not like you can repeat going to certain places, so I just take advantage of when I'm in different spots, you know what I mean, and
You start recording
and just start recording,
Edit it later.
yeah, that's what happens, like you just just on the fly, just going. There you go.
So
Just
you're just like on vacation somewhere, and then you're like, "Hey, record."
it all depends. Yeah, it really depends on what the situation is. You know what I mean? It's just, I just know that you're not gonna get a chance to be in Cancun or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, it's just one of those things where I just know that hey, if I want to be able to give something that people are gonna be like, wow, look at that, or check it out, he's there, or whatever. I gotta take advantage of the moment. So that's just basically what it is,
That's what's up, bro. You were talking about Method Man and Redman a little bit ago. Is that who like inspired you to do all that? Start.
At the beginning, yeah, like it's what inspired me to want to start doing it. You know what I mean? But I've had so many influences, throughout the years. I learned a lot from Snoop.
Snoop, yeah.
I learned a lot from him.
Oh yeah.
You know, Yeah, right. But like I always paid attention to the way he, the way his songs were structured and the way he did his ad libs and stuff like that. And I really, it's like I'm a prisoner of always trying to figure it out, of always trying to see how to do it better or whatever, So whenever I go to a show or anything like that, or I listen to music, I'm like analyzing it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, okay, what are they doing, or what is it? And even with other artists, you know what I mean? I'm always paying attention, like, because that's how me and my boys always say, steel sharpens steel. So
Right.
you have to pay attention to what other people are doing and be like, all right, so he's doing this, so let me do this. And so I've always been that way. So I mean,
Is that who you bump right now? Listen to Snoop all the time?
I listen to a lot of Snoop. You know what I listen to a lot? Nipsey Hussle.
Nice.
I listen to a lot to him, and some DJ Quick too. You know what I mean? I look at what people are doing to be successful, and what Nipsey was doing is what I feel like I'm trying to do now. You know what I mean? And just create a brand. That I've been heavy on my marketing game, heavy on investing and learning, been reading books, all that type of stuff. So always trying to be better, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Can't stop moving, man. You sink if you don't move.
that's for sure.
So how many songs do you think you've made? I mean, 15 years is a long time.
Man,
Or albums. This whole
you know what? If you're gonna count albums, like, legit, like in Spotify, we only have one album.
Oh, really?
Yeah, MCH only has one album, and I have a couple singles out. But as far as recording music, I've probably recorded. Me and my boys probably recorded at least 500 songs.
Really?
At least.
Like the whole MCH, like together.
Yeah.
500 songs. Damn.
Over the years, but that's the only way you're gonna get better is by constantly being in the studio. You know what I mean? That's I'm a studio, junkie. Yeah, you got constantly got to be working towards it. But I'm just trying to make quality music. I'm not trying to just put things out to put things out. You know, but now the way things are now, you got to be consistent. You know what I mean? Consistency is key. So I've been working on that. I've been trying to be consistent. Because in this world that we're living in now, just like a song gets old in a week.
Yeah.
But that's where the marketing comes in. You gotta have a plan. You know what I mean? It's like when a single comes out, it's not like, oh man, I recorded it last week and then I put it out this week. There's a plan that goes behind it. And, you have to, first, make the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta make the song, right?
Music is like 90% business.
Oh yeah, that is the truest thing ever. Most people don't understand that. Like what people see is like the glamour part, the nice, oh wow, the videos and all that stuff, but they don't see what goes behind the scenes, the hours of studio time, the boring stuff,
The stress.
you know what I mean, the doubt, you know what I mean. It's an emotional roller coaster, you know what I mean, constantly thinking, I suck. You know what I mean? There's so many times that happens, but you got to take the good with the
How do
bad.
you get over that?
How do I get over that?
Like the doubt. How do you overcome that? You keep pushing it like 15 years, like you said, it's a long time.
It's a long time.
Mhm.
It's a good question, but I just sometimes some days are better than others, but I guess I just get over it. You know what I mean? I'm never like, oh man, like
Just crying.
cry. Yeah, I try not to. Right? You're like, damn. But nah, man, it's just, sometimes you have those doubts and, you just, take it and then you'll end up getting back in the studio and then you'll make something that you're just like, man, I'm a freaking genius. Like, and there's so many moments like that. Like I said, it's a roller coaster. There's a lot of highs, a lot of lows, a lot more lows than highs, man. But there's times where, man, I feel like I can't even make a beat or I can't even, come up with lyrics. And then there's some times where you're up till 2, 3 in the morning and the words will just keep coming out. And it's a real hard thing to get in that, in that zone and that vibe. So when you get in it, don't stop because you're gonna lose it and you're not, so that's what happens a lot to me. Like I'll be in the studio and then I'm just like, man, I'm in the zone, and I'll just keep going and I'll finish the song or whatever. But there's
you don't
something.
have like a recipe just to get out of that funk.
No,
People are in that moment, you're like, fuck, I suck or whatever, and then you don't have nothing to get you out.
I don't have
You
a
just go
specific
through
thing.
it.
I just go to sleep or something. You know what I mean? Just tomorrow's another day. You know what I mean? The sun always shines, so you got to take the good with the bad. But
Sometimes all you need is just a good night's sleep.
usually or a shot. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't smoke no more, so it's just.
I used to do when I write music, I'd like take like 2 shots, a couple beers,
Right.
and then I don't know, it just works for me.
Yeah, everybody has their own, their own way of recording and their own.
And I get pissed, people come bother me, I'm like, fuck.
Right.
I'm trying to I'm busy.
How about you?
Um,
What you like to do?
with music?
Yeah, with music. How do you like to record? Is there a certain,
Well, usually I'll just like write random little poems,
Right.
and then if I hear a beat, I'm like, sometimes it depends. Like, sometimes beats have a name already,
Mm-hmm.
so sometimes I'll be like, oh, I could write about that topic, whatever the name is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes I'll go dig through my little notes and be like, oh, I could use this. I'll tweak it a little bit,
Right.
you know, and make it a song.
I've done that before. Like
I've done the
I'm
poem thing too. I
Yeah.
used to write poems and then I would just switch it up, make it longer, and then add this one to that one, and then just connect them
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, I do too. A whole bunch of ways.
yeah. It just really depends. There's no secret recipes for me.
It's like
Like
this.
it could be a beat, it could be a note, it could be a word, it could be a situation. You know, you never know where the inspiration is gonna come from. And then when it hits, you're just like, man, I gotta
Yeah.
roll with it. You know what I mean? It's
You don't do nothing to kickstart that process. What is your process? Like when you're about to write a song or go to the studio.
you know, well, I mean, the studio's at the crib, so the studio's
Right.
always there. You know what I mean?
That's
But
something.
there's no real process behind it. You know what I mean? If I get in the studio, if I have a topic, or we'll just listen to some beats or something like that, and then something will pop up, and then we'll go from there. But you know, we'll just start making beats. We'll just start working. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, like my partner, he's always like he's the writing machine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that's like he's got songs and topics, you know what I mean? So a lot of the times he'll have a lot of topics, or he'll have a song that he already recorded, and then I'll have a beat, or I'll make something, and he'd be like, all right, this goes to it, and then we'll pen it right there, whatever, and then then we'll just lay it down.
Starts from like a beat.
Yeah, it usually starts with the beat. Or I mean, if he has a song already that he's recorded before, or he has a hook or something, we'll go with that, and then I'll listen to it, and I'll try to make something to that. So it just really depends. You know what I mean? Like I said, you don't know how it's gonna go. It's not like we go into the studio thinking we're gonna do this, or unless you already have you have the beat, you have the song, you already wrote everything, then you go in there and you just record it. You know what I mean? It really depends, man. So I'm just trying to make quality. I'm just trying to make quality music, man. Because everybody's like, I'm a rapper. Like, I feel like I make good music. We make music. You don't just try to record and put it out, whatever.
That's what's up. It's good to know that there's artists out there that are trying to make good music, not just a whole bunch of shit to have out there.
Right.
I'm just waving at everybody.
I'm
You randomly see me.
Hey.
I'm waving at people in the comments.
Somebody that just came on.
How long do you think it takes you to write a good song?
A good song?
Probably depends too.
It does depend, but sometimes it's crazy. Like sometimes I'll be sitting there and I'm like, man, I can't think of anything, and then all of a sudden like we'll have a hook or something, and it just inspires it, and then boom, I'll write it like in an hour. I'll be done writing it in an hour. But usually we'll record that, then we still take it home the next day or whatever, and then we'll listen to it and be like, all right, this is where we can improve on this, or I don't like this, and I do like this, but I don't like that, and and then once we lay it down, then I'll pop it back up, and then I'll sequence the beat to the verses, and just kind of fix it like that. It's just a lot of trial and error, and then just go from there. And I mean, it really depends. A song could take however long you want it to take. You know what I mean? However long it takes to make good sounding music, you know what I mean? That's how long we'll take, But
Do you go back and change a lot?
I don't think I change a lot, but a lot of a lot of editing goes into it. A lot of stuff goes into it that like the one song that we'll play right now is called All I Want Is You, and it was like it's got a sample chorus on there, and I made the beat, you know what I mean, and I made the beat and I had the chorus on there and everything, and then I made it however long ago, and then my boy's like, yo, I need that beat. That beat's dope, you know what I mean? And he's like, let's work on that. And I was like, okay. So I gave it to him, and then whatever, a couple weeks go by, and then he calls me and I'm in LA, and he's like, "Yo, I think we need to talk about, you know, getting it in. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what that song is about. You know." And I was like, "All right, okay." I used to like having sex. Shit. You know what I mean?
kids know exactly what you
Jeez. But yeah, so he's just like, this is, we need to be a little bit more edgy, you know. And then he's just like, okay, so he recorded, because he has his own little, you know, setup at home too, and he'll do a lot of pre-production over there. Like he'll get the beat, he'll write the, you know, his verse or whatever, or this, you know, whatever he's working on, he'll write it and he'll record it, and then he sent it to me. And I was just like, okay. So I heard it, and it was like through Messenger or something like that. It was just like a piece of it.
Right.
And I heard his verse, and I was like, oh shit. So as soon as I heard his verse, I wrote my part like in an hour. It was quick. You know, I was like, all right, cool. So it's like it sparked the inspiration right there. You know what I mean? So like, you gotta give a lot of credit to him, because he came up with like the concept behind it. You know what I mean? But I made the beat and I put it all together. And so when I got back over here, I was like, okay. So I went into the studio, and then I completed the whole track. I put all the bridges in it. I put the outro in it, you know, the little sample at the end. I put it all. I basically built the beat. Then I laid down my part, and then I just waited for him to get to the studio, and then boom, we laid down his part, and then I mastered it the next day. So it was a quick process. Like I had the track for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when we actually started working on it, it got done in a day. It was done. You know, so it was cool.
This is the song we're gonna hear next.
Let's listen to
What
it.
is it called?
It's because All I Want Is You, man. It's my latest single over there on Spotify. Make sure y'all go check it out, stream it. And this is what I call a quick take right here. We literally, this video, I was like, I hit my boys, and I'm just like, yo, this song comes out next Wednesday. We need to record some sort of video for it right now. And he's like, all right, well, let's just go do it. All right, bet. You know what I mean? And then it was like, so I called it a quick take. Instead of a one take, I called it a take. So that was like, we shot it in about an hour. I edited it the next day. And then the following day after that, I freaking released it. So
Nice.
Let's check it out.
I want is you, all I want is you, all you got something that I need, yeah, I need, ooh.
I like the way your body move. Fuck until we pass out. Give it to you how you want it. That's what I be all about. Face down, ass up. Hit it till you bout the bust. Body full of lust, and you still can't get enough. Take it to the edge. Open your legs. Give it what you need, and still you don't beg. Started on the right, and then we went left. I know you for the vibe, and nothing was said. I'm right here where I'm supposed to be. Right? Waking up butt naked, and you're next to me. These late nights be the best to me. They be the best. And you know I gotta go, but you don't want me to leave.
You got me in my feelings, can't fight the way I feel. You got me in my feelings, don't wanna make it real. Ooh, 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 ooh. I miss you, I still miss you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All I want is you, all I want is you, all you got something that I need, yeah, I need, ooh.
I've been up all night now dreaming about it. The way you move, where you walk, got me thinking about it. See them heels on now, let's get naughty. Legs in the air like she knew karate. Look but don't touch now, baby, don't rush. Bring the strawberries with cream and handcuffs. Smoke in the air, but she don't like chronic. Rocks hypnotize, make your girl act erotic. Shots of Bacardi got you loose, lay your head down. 4 in the morning, now I'm going full steam now. You're all I need now. Go on, touch your body, feels like a dream now. No, I won't tell nobody.
It was a drone. I'm sure it was.
You sure it was?
For sure it was.
That's a cool little hook thing, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, man. So, I hope everybody listens to it. We'll see what happens.
And when did you release that one?
It was last week, I believe.
Oh shit, that's me.
Yeah. It was, I don't know. I forgot the date already. It was, but it was last Wednesday.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, last week.
You said you have a family, right?
Yeah, I have one son.
You have a son?
I have a son.
Oh, how?
17.
Oh,
Shit. My son's 11.
11.
He's turning 12 on the 23rd.
Oh, man, before you know it, he's gonna be big, bro.
He's ready for it.
Yeah.
I miss him when he was a toddler. Like, I've been wanting another kid, but
You
I
sure?
just don't want the baby mama.
you sure?
I understand, man. You know what I mean? It's
I can relate.
you know, you got a lot of respect for my baby mama, but
So I don't have anyone to argue with or about how to raise him and shit. So I do it.
that I respect that, man. I mean, that for me, that's part of like the reason why like I didn't fully like get into the music and really travel and because this is what this business is you have to
A lot of time.
it's a lot of amount of time you have to put into it, and for me being a father was most important, you know what I mean, and being there for my kid, because I mean I didn't grow up with one, you know what I mean, and not having that was hard on me, and I knew I wasn't gonna do that to my son. I wasn't gonna repeat the process and be selfish in that sense. You know what I mean? Like it's a great thing being a father. It's a really good thing to be a parent. It's awesome to be the I always say, be to your kid what you needed at that age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that for me was the most important thing. Like when I heard that, it really resonated with me, because I knew that when I was his age, the amount of guidance that I needed, you know what I mean, and just going and running behind all these dudes in the hood, and you know what I mean, that wasn't what was best for me, but at the same time it made me who I am. So I'm not like resentful for how I grew up, but I also know that I could have been in a better position if I had a little more guidance, and that's what was important to me, so now he's older, I'm able to do what I have to do, you know what I mean, and that's it's a cool thing.
I remember when my son was born, I made a little promise to him, like, you're gonna have everything that I didn't have.
I agree. Like it's funny, I feel that.
Father that I've never had. So
Right.
That's what my dad taught me from leaving. Like he taught me how to do and be exactly what he's done.
Exactly. I feel that, man. I feel that because I did the same thing when he was born. Like, I seen him, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, okay, that, when your baby mama's pregnant, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh yeah, that's my baby in there, right? But not until the moment you see your kid. That moment you see your kid, right there and then. It's just something that's just like it's not so too many moments in your life that you have a life changing experience, you know. And when I first saw him, I'd seen his ears, I saw his hands, I saw his feet, and I said, "Yeah, that's my kid." You know what I mean? And right there and then, I made the promise, like, "Yo, I'm gonna be there for you." You know, that's what's number one, and that's what's most important. So that's how I approached being a father. And I ain't perfect. You know what I mean? We're all human, you know. But I think out of all the things I've done in my life, being a father is the one thing I did right. So
Yeah.
you know, I guess I could say I'm proud of that right there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Second thing I did, I went and got a little baby Raiders jersey.
Really?
Oh my God.
Little jersey.
Yo, I seen that. I knew you was a Raiders fan, man. I seen that a lot, you know. So so I was like thinking, like, you know, I'm gonna get these people something. So I brought you guys some.
Yeah.
Y'all want to know?
Yeah. What
Yeah.
is it?
So I'll check it out. So I was like,
I'm not a Raiders fan.
no. Yeah,
I mean, I don't.
if you guys paid attention to what I do, then you'd be like, man, you're what? What fan are you? Damn, you guys would be hating right now. But I was like, this dude wears nothing but black. But check it out. It's for you, D.
Oh, cool. I like it. Oh, and it's like a little head with the headphones.
That's what's
Yeah. So headphones right there. So let everybody see that.
That's cool. I'm gonna go put it on YouTube.
Yeah. I was asking Jacob, like, do you know what size she wears, dude? He's like, I don't know,
I'm like, I have no idea.
But check it out. That's for you, Jacob.
Hell yeah.
Up there. He's got the big shirt, man. The big shirt. Well, here you go, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
So you guys better go to my show, man. September 30th. September 30th.
Tell us about your show. I was gonna ask you about that.
Well, it's gonna be at Thunder Candy Brewery, September 30th. Yeah, shout out to Jim, man, over there at Thunder Canyon, man. He's really doing it for the artists here in town, man. It's like if you really wanna, you know, get your feet wet, I would say, like for the up and coming and the young artists and the new artists, whatever, that's the place to be because he really gives you an opportunity. You know, he doesn't. Yeah. Like I've gone there a few times just to chop it up with him and just, you know, just to kind of get a feel for it. You know, I was telling you guys earlier. I'm a guy that builds relationships. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I went over there and chopped it up with him, and you know, he's doing it the right way. I would say. You know, a lot of people don't give that dude credit, but you know, that he's a real one for sure. But yeah, but that ain't it. That ain't it though. Let's see, where's this? Yeah, what's up? What's up, Gino?
Oh, what else, Seymour?
Margaret, Sierra, Audrey, and Nikki.
Here you go.
What you got? What is that?
Oh.
It's the MCH album, man.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, I don't know how to see it.
Right? But it's limited, man. And, it has my boy did the art on it. My boy David. What up, Static?
And then I'm gonna show it to you in like 5 years. And I'll be like, I still have this.
Yeah, I still have it. You know, so if you guys come to the show, there'll be a lot of merchandise and some CDs. So I know it's obsolete now, you know, but obsolete, like it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. There's a lot of words that I'm like,
You're learning a lot today. She's learning, man.
The family, what I meant when I was bringing the family thing to, did they support you when you started?
My mom was my number one fan, bro.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
My mom was my number one fan. You know, everybody supports me and my family. You know what I mean? I have a divided family. You know, it's just like, you know, a lot of, I don't know how to explain it, but just misunderstandings, I guess, if that's what you want to, you know, the term you want to be behind. it. But yeah, I've always had support from my family. When I was young, it's like, when you first starting, people don't really understand it, and what is it? You know what I mean? But one,
Some moms are
eh,
like, why you're gonna waste your time? Go do something else.
Right.
You better get a better job.
nah,
I'm
mom,
like, thanks a lot.
my mom was never that, man. My mom was never that. Like, um, one of my first shows, she went to my show and sat in the front. She got her chair, put it in the front. And when I was at the time, I was like, oh, this is so embarrassing. You know what I mean? you know, 'cause- ah, I must have been like 19 or something like that, youngin', But my mom was there, But and I think about it now, it's just like I appreciate it so much more now. You know what I mean? So, but what can I say? You know what I mean? But yeah, I've had a lot of support from my family because they see how serious I've been about it lately too. They're like, man, you're over here, you're over there. It's not like I'm doing anything like special. I'm being me, and I'm just doing what I always wanted to do. You know what I mean? And just take advantage of the moment. I always say, enjoy the moment. Tomorrow's not promised. That's for sure. Yeah, man. Like now that we're on a live podcast, I never gotten a chance to say that. Like, hi, mom. But yeah, well, it's just she's no longer with us, so yeah, no problem, man. It's okay. It's all right.
Your family now, your son, is he supportive of you?
Oh yeah, not at all. Not at all. My son is like the coolest kid. Sometimes I look at him and I'm just like, man, he's got so much swagger. He's just got so much charisma. You know what I mean? He's just like he's comfortable in his own skin. So like for today I was like, yo, should I rock these pants? I had two outfits. I was like, look, I got this and I got this. He's like, wear that. I'm like, all right, cool. But he's so similar to me, but so different at the same time. It's crazy. Yeah.
They teach you a lot, huh?
That I learn a lot from my son. My son gives me a lot of game. He puts me on all these new artists. You know what I mean? And he's just like, yo, I got a song. Check this song out there. Like, listen to this dude. And I'll be like, yeah, that dude's, he's nice. And then there's some dudes that I'm like, turn that off, bro. He's like, dad. He's like, yeah, he's like, dad this is the new, And I'm just like, that ain't it. That ain't it, man. That ain't it, man. But he's got really good taste in music, in my opinion. Like he shows me some music that I'm just like, you know what? His yeah, and then he's kind of doing that. He'll sometimes he'll be like, let's bust a freestyle, dad. You know what I mean? And he's still learning, and I'm just like, one thing you gotta know is that you're not gonna be good at first. When I first started, like I told you guys earlier, like I wasn't naturally gifted at it, but I've never let other people's opinions, stop me from doing what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? I really did music because I love doing music. You know what I mean? It was something that was like I felt like music chose me. I didn't choose music.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
You know what I mean? And so, when I first started and started putting out songs, I had friends that like said, "Oh yeah, that's dope," and then I come to find out later that they thought I was horrible.
Aw.
Yeah. A little bit, I guess you could say. I mean, I'd rather have the truth. Tell me I suck. You know what I mean? So that way I can improve. But
Sometimes like you might sound horrible to someone, but then someone else is like, I like did.
Yeah, and that's that's the whole thing about music is that it's very subjective. You know what I mean? And you have to find your audience. You know, because everybody, you can't be like, I make music for everybody. That's not true. That's not true. Exactly, it's not true. You have to cater to your audience, to the people that listen to you, or to the people that are into your story and your type of music.
And
You
I
know,
think also like what you're good at, you know, like you might not be a good rapper, but you might be a good singer,
Right.
vice versa.
right? And that takes time. You know, that takes time to find your sound and to find who you are as an artist. That takes time. You know, and that's why I've been doing this shit for so long, because it's like there's so many stages that you have to go through in order to finally get to where you want to be, or same thing if you pay attention to Lil Wayne. The Lil Wayne that first and with the Hot Boys and all them, that's not the Lil Wayne of today.
Yeah.
But it took him some time to get to that point when he dropped Lollipop and then all that stuff.
Oh, and then
Yeah, he did take him a lot of drugs.
when he-
Took him a lot of drugs.
Anybody want a drink?
Yeah, hook me up, man.
When he released that
Little
song,
song.
How to Love, he had a lot of backlash, but I thought that was pretty cool because he was doing a little singing.
Yeah, it's
Have you seen the interviews for him? They come in like tell him his lyrics. He's like, I wrote that shit.
Yeah,
He was
I've seen
doing
that.
A whole bunch of crazy ass.
I've
drugs,
seen that.
and he even says that he was on a bunch of drugs when he made a lot of his
Yeah.
music and albums and shit. So like he doesn't remember most of them.
I don't even. How in the hell is he gonna remember? I bet you he don't even remember some of his lyrics when he goes to do a show and he has to like probably listen to the songs and just remind himself. I wouldn't doubt that.
Honestly, like it happens to me sometimes. I'm like, oh, shit.
That's everybody. You know, if you make a lot of music, you have to go back and review it. That's why you gotta rehearse. You know, you have to rehearse.
I
Yeah.
don't either. I just
You
smoke
just-
weed.
Happens to me.
I just smoke weed, though. Like, not that much anymore. But it'll be like, cause I'm working on music, so sometimes when I'm practicing it, like I'll forget one. I know, like, damn it, I gotta rehearse it again.
You know you can't.
It happens to me.
You can't read the paper or the phone
I know, I
when
can't
you're
read it on
performing.
paper. I'm gonna be the
When
person to do that.
like I said, like I'll take some shots and get some beers and shit when I write. A couple days later, when I come back to it, I'm like, oh shit, like damn,
Right.
that shit sounds sick. I'm
That's
like,
why they